What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about the best 5 first mods you should do to your S197 3-valve, and you can apply some of these to the 5.0s as well, but specifically I'm talking about the 3 valves because that's what I have. And quick update on my car. I don't really think I've changed much in since the last YouTube video. I don't think I've changed that much. I do have a new diffuser coming, so there's nothing on here right now, so it's a little naked, but I will post when I get the new diffuser. It is from 66 Polar Customs as well. It is his V2 diffuser. It's just got like bigger fins. I don't know, I was just wanted to switch it up. But yeah, let's jump right into the best mods that you should do to start on your S197. Alright guys, so sorry if there's a lot of wind in this. It's just an empty parking lot. But the number one mod that you should do to your car, the very first thing, is suspension. And by that I mean coilovers, lowering springs, bags, whatever your preference and whatever you're using the car for. It's totally up to you what you go with. And aside from that, there's a couple things you'll need to get. So when you lower your car, you're going to need an adjustable panhard bar for the rear, and that is because the rear end will shift over once you lower your car, so your wheels will not be even. Right now mine is not perfectly adjusted. I'm going to adjust it again so you guys can see. It's my right side, and you can see my left side's a little bit more in, so I just got to tweak the panhard bar a little bit to the left. And I'll show you guys what it looks like right here. So, panhard bar is this one with the golden locking like nuts. So yeah, get an adjustable one because you're gonna have to play with it depending on how low your car is. Will depend on how much it shifts. But definitely get one of those because you will need it. Other than that, I mean, you can just lower your car. That's the only thing you really need. Obviously, aside from whatever you go with, the coilovers, lowering springs, or bags if you have the money. But like I said, it's all personal preference. Lowering springs are going to be more comfortable generally, and the coilovers are generally going to handle better, but they are going to be a stiffer ride. And then bags are nice because they're adjustable on the fly, but obviously everybody knows they're super expensive, so that's why not everyone has them. But other than that, for suspension, I think you should get rear lower control arms, maybe a rear upper control arm if you really want to do that. That one's kind of a lot of work, but I would recommend the rear lower ones. You guys can kind of see mine right there. It's just to help eliminate some of the wheel hop. And then you can also do the front. You can do like the GT500, or I mean, you can do I have BMR stuff on the rear, everything, so I mean, I would recommend them as well. But you can also upgrade your front ones. I have not done that yet. I just did a bunch of the rear to eliminate all the wheel hop and unnecessary play in the rear end. So it hooks and books pretty good now. Obviously, still not super fast, it's a 3-valve. But I definitely recommend taking care of suspension first, because it will not only change the way the car looks the most, because lowering your car is going to change the entire stance and feel. But I mean, the performance benefits are so great because you have less body roll, it's stiffer, especially if you get coilovers, it's a lot stiffer, so it'll handle a lot better. And I mean, it just looks good, but please lower your car first. I don't know why people like to wait and then they'll get wheels and it looks so goofy. Once you lower your car, you'll be able to decide what size wheel and tire to get, depending on how low you go. Obviously, you can mess around with it. So the second thing I wish I would have done actually a lot earlier, now this only applies if your car is a manual, and that is a short throw. So I have the MGW short throw. They make 2 versions, a flat stick and this one. I did not get the flat stick. All it is just looks different on the top. But I didn't really care for that, and it was a little more expensive. And this one is also adjustable, which is really nice. So you guys can see what it looks like. Actually, let me give you guys like a top view. Boom, 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 boom. So it's super nice because a lot less play. It feels a lot sturdier and very confidence inspiring. but the fact that it's adjustable is super nice. So I have this on 4 out of 10 rotations. 10 is the maximum that MGW says to do, because anything more than that and you can break the short throw. So I have it on 4, and it's super nice. I mean, this is a plenty short enough throw, and it feels super short while you're driving. It's really nice, and it's got a notchy feel. So the shorter you go with it, the notchier it will feel. So like I said, you can play around with it, but I would recommend 4 out of 10 rotations on it, because that's what I have. It starts to get really short the more rotations, obviously. But I would say start with 4, test it out. If you don't think it's short enough, go another rotation, and then, go on from there. But trust me, you guys will love your MGW. You will never have a regret. And I say MGW because they're practically the best in the business. The only other short throw that I would recommend is Barton. Now, I've never had Barton, but they're the only other ones that are on the same level as MGW, and I've only heard good things about them. I would avoid the Hearst ones. They've had problems breaking and stuff like that, but with an MGW, you will never have an issue. I promise you. You will love it, and you will thank me for recommending it. But while we're in here, we'll talk about the next one, which is a radio. Now, you can go with whatever you want, but I will 100% recommend this Dynavan that I have. This is the Dynavan 8, and it's flawless. You guys can see it's a little dirty because I never clean my car, but look at the fit, and finish of this. It's so good. It looks very OEM. I think that's the main thing that I love, and it's a huge screen. I'm trying to see if I have anything with me to compare it to. I don't know, it's like my wallet. But you guys can see it's huge. The screen is super nice. It's very clear, and it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, I believe. For sure it has Apple CarPlay because I use it every day. But it's super nice. I mean, it's literally plug and play. And obviously you can get a backup camera with this as well, which I do have. I'll show you guys. So if you get this, I would recommend getting a backup camera while you're at it, because why not? And I have the slim plate frame one they have on their website. You guys can see the camera right here. Nice little thing, and actually it's pretty good. But trust me, that's something that I did pretty early and was one of the best investments that I've done for the car. It completely changes the quality of life. It's so much more convenient, and you're able to use the GPS on it and stuff. It's a game changer, trust me. Huge improvement over the stock one. And stock, I had the Shaker 1000, so I mean, I had the nice sound system and stuff, but this is just so much better, and you'll absolutely love it. Makes the car feel a lot more modern. Really helps update it for you, and I promise you, you'll love this one. Up next is a muffler delete. So I have the SLP loudmouth, as you guys can see here, and this is what it looks like underneath. So I recommend getting a muffler delete because it will really wake up the car, the way it sounds. And it's pretty loud with just a muffler delete when you're on it. But when you're not on it, there's no drone. It's not super obnoxious. You're not going to have your neighbors hating you. But it sounds great. Any muffler delete you go with will sound good. I've had 2 already, and a couple of my friends have had different ones. Every single one sounds great. These cars just sound fantastic. But I have the SLP loudmouth, and I recommend that one. Before I had the pipes one, but the right side was really wonky fitting. It was too low. I couldn't get it to sit right for some reason. And then the hanger broke on it, so I got this one. But that brings me on to our next mod, which is an air intake that I recommend. A cold air intake is always a good kind of starter point. A lot of people do them. It's a lot of people's first mods. So I have the JLT Series 3, and I would recommend this one. But along with this intake, you will need a tuner and a tune. So I have the SCT X4 tuner, and you can get a remote tune or dyno tune. It's really up to you. I did do the base tune that you can upload from the SCT because it has this as an option, the intake. So I did do that one, and it ran pretty good. Obviously not great, but I mean, it runs good enough that you're not gonna have an issue. I say not great because I got a dyno tune like 2 weeks later, and it was like a world of a difference. But I mean, it was fine for what it was, and it's kind of just a good starting point so that you can at least run the intake until you get your actual tune. If not, I would recommend Lido. He does thousands of Mustangs, so he'll do a good job, and I've heard very highly of him. I considered switching to him just because my tuner is not always available, but I like the dyno tune. It's real life data that I can see when I change stuff on the car, and I can actually see the gains versus a remote tune where you're not gonna be able to tell. It's just kind of by feel. But it's always good to start with an intake, and you'll hear a little more noise. I don't really hear as much because my exhaust is so loud, because I have the headers, catless, muffler delete, and cams, so it's just so loud that I can't even hear my intake noise. But with the muffler delete and the intake, you'll hear a little more noise up front, and obviously plenty of noise out the rear. And trust me, you guys will be happy with both of those. And the JLT one here is the best intake you can get. And finally, the last thing I recommend you doing is wheels and tires. Now that is 100% up to you. I have had quite a few sets on this car. I had the stock set, obviously, when I got it. I had a black set that I used in winter that came with the car. Then after that, I bought, I believe, my bronze set. Then I got a chrome set that I got for free off Facebook, actually. Then I had back to the bronze. Then I had a mismatched set that I ran for winter, and now I'm on these. So I've been through quite a few sets. I very much like these. Just find whatever fits your style and whatever size you like. I recommend 19s. These are 19s right here. And some good specs to start are 19 by 9.5 plus 35. That's what these are. That's all around. But I have a staggered tire. I have a 255/40 front and a 275/40 rear. But I would say a 19 by 9.5 plus 35 wheel will be good in pretty much any wheel you go with, because my bronze wheels before this were the same exact specs, and I mean, they both fit practically the same. For tires, I mean, I would recommend these. I have these Continentals on the rear. They're an all season, the DW S06 or something like that. Yeah, DW S06, you guys can see. So I would recommend those if you're looking for an all season. I mean, they're kind of pricey, but not really. But they handle really well for an all season. The performance is actually there, surprisingly, and they last a decent amount of time. On the front, I have these Firehawk Indies that I got for cheap off Facebook because I wanted to test the 255/40 on these wheels, and it's definitely the move. Now, when I get new tires, I might do these Firehawk Indies all around because they're a summer tire, and I picked up a daily, so I'm not going to be driving this through the winter again. But if you do drive it through the winter, get some Blizzaks. That's just a side note. But do suspension before you do your wheels, because if you change your wheels, your car's going to look goofy on the stock suspension. It's going to have even more of a gap. I don't know why people like to start with that. I guess I get it, because wheels will change it more, quote unquote. They're going to change the look more. But trust me, if you lower your car before wheels, it's going to look cooler than if you put wheels and don't lower your car. Then you're going to look like a monster truck. But that's what I recommend to start with, those 5 mods. I think I did 6 with the short throw, but that only counts as a manual, so that's not for everyone. But I mean, yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything I have on the car, or how I feel about anything that I have, let me know. And like I said, if you guys think I missed anything or any good first mods, let me know in the comments below. But as always, guys, thanks for watching.